May you please stand for the academic procession.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I constitute this a congregation of Rhodes University. Please be seated.
Chancellor, the Honorable Justice Lexham Party, Chairperson of the Rhodes University Council, Mr. Vuyo Kahla, President of the Rhodes University Convocation, Professor Emeritus Peter Mtuza, our honorary graduate, Professor Emeritus George Ellis, University Public Auditor, Distinguished Professor Paul Malem, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Deans, Registrar, Heads of academic departments and Directors of administrative divisions, academic and support staff colleagues, President and other members of the Student Representative Council, proud parents, guardians, siblings, and friends of our graduates, honored guests, and most important, our graduates. This is a day of joy, this is a day of celebration. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the third of 6 graduation ceremonies of 2019 at Rhodes University. Graduation ceremonies are an important highlight in our university calendar. They afford us a special opportunity to recognize, honor, and celebrate the academic success and achievements of our new graduates. Graduation is a significant milestone which marks one of the most memorable experiences in the life of our graduates of any age. It marks the end and a new beginning. It is a culmination of many years of hard work and personal sacrifice, a celebration of a great personal accomplishment, a moment of joy and pride for parents and other family members, a time to reflect on the road traveled and to look forward to a future rich with promise. On behalf of our Chancellor, Council and the entire Rhodes University community, I offer our warmest and proud congratulations to each one of you, our graduates, on your wonderful achievements. Let me extend our heartfelt congratulations to those graduates who are the first in their family to earn a university degree. Having been one myself, I know too well just what a proud and special moment this is for you. You have achieved what no one in your family has achieved. Heartiest congratulations. Over the years you have been at Rhodes, you have been sustained by the unfaltering support, loving sacrifices, and constant encouragement of your parents, guardians, siblings, friends, and loved ones. This day belongs as much to you as it does to them. Please never turn your back on them. Can we please give a warm round of applause to all the families who have supported our students. Thank you. The success and achievements we celebrate this morning attest to the dedicated and committed support of our academic staff, tutors, laboratory technicians, computer assistants, support and administrative staff. We also acknowledge with great gratitude the important role played by our cleaners, cooks, gardeners, janitorial staff, wardening staff, and student leaders in creating a rich and supportive intellectual, social, and physical environment for our students to develop, grow, and succeed in their academic endeavors. Humanity has much to celebrate. A major scientific breakthrough was announced on Wednesday this week, when the first ever image of a black hole taken by the Event Horizon Telescope was unveiled. This stellar feat confirms Einstein's theory of space, time, and gravity, developed more than a century ago. We are immensely proud of the role played by our colleagues in the Department of Physics and Electronics, particularly in the Center for Radio Astronomy Techniques and Technologies, under the direction of the SKA Sachi Chair, Professor Oleg Smenov, and Professor Justin Jonas. Dr. Inian Natarajan is a postdoctoral fellow at Rhodes, and until recently, Professor Roger Dean, who is now at the University of Pretoria, was a senior researcher at Rhodes. This is a tremendous achievement for a small university in our country. In our 2019 graduation ceremonies, we will confer 5 honorary degrees on highly eminent individuals in recognition and celebration of their extraordinary lifetime achievements and contributions in a field of knowledge or scholarship, in public service, or in artistic creation. Their personal journeys and selfless service and sacrifices serve as an inspiration and an example worthy of emulation by all of us. These distinguished women and men are Professor Ian Scott, Professor Glenda Gray, Professor Emeritus George Ellis, who will be honored this morning, and you will not find a person who knows more about black holes than George Ellis. Professor Pumla Goboto Matigizela and Chief Oinike Ogundai. In the 6 graduation ceremonies of 2019, a total of 2,321 students will receive their degrees and diplomas. Of these, 1,261, or 54%, are undergraduate bachelor's degrees, and 1,060, or 46%, are postgraduate degrees and diplomas. Of the 1,060 postgraduate students, 230 will be receiving their master's degrees. Of the 2,321 graduates, 61% are women. Malbongwe. Malbongwe. And 19% are international students. This year we have produced 89 PhD graduates. The Faculty of Science has produced 38, Faculty of Humanities 30, Faculty of Commerce 3, Faculty of Education 16, and the Faculty of Pharmacy 2. Our warm congratulations to all our faculty deans, heads of departments, and the academic and support staff of our academic departments. One of the 38 science faculty PhD graduates is Matthew Weaver. Matthew was supervised by the late Professor Emeritus J. O'Keefe and was co-supervised by Professor Tali Palmer. Jay passed away on the 31st of December last year, following a brave and good-humored battle with cancer. He was a much-acclaimed water scientist who gave much to Rhodes University throughout his career. Let me for a moment address myself to our graduates. You have received the best education from one of the finest universities in this country. With your Rhodes University qualification, you can embrace the future with confidence, courage, and conviction. Not only do you carry light with you, you are the light of the world. May your light shine before others and dispel the darkness of ignorance, prejudice, greed, selfishness, cynicism, hatred, hopelessness, and despair. May you brighten the corner wherever you find yourself. And as Germany can suggest, let your light shine as an inspiration to humanity and be the reason for someone to believe in the goodness of people. Now that you have a qualification from this great university, you are able to make life choices and define what success, happiness, and fulfillment mean for you. Whatever choices you make in life, never elevate personal ambition or single-minded pursuit of material or financial gain above all else. There is no honor in the abuse of public trust for private or personal benefit. This is an important lesson to be learned from the PIC Commission, which is chaired by our Chancellor. The Nugent Commission, of which our Chair of Council was a member, the State Capture Commission, and the Mohoro Commission, never allowed the lure of instant gratification or convenience to cloud your good judgment. Whatever the future holds for you, always strive to be the best that you can possibly be. Always strive to live a life of virtue, a life of consequence. However you choose to define success, fulfillment, or happiness, never forget who you are or where you come from. Never forget those who have supported you, those who have stood by you through all your ups and downs. And however you choose to define success, fulfillment, or happiness, never fail to treat others with respect, kindness, and decency. In all that you do, may you be guided by the values of social justice, empathy, integrity, honesty, compassion, and human solidarity, always endeavoring to brighten the corner where you are. You have so much to offer the world. Never for a moment doubt your capacity to make a positive change in our society. Never allow the fear of failure to drive you into the safety and placidity of inaction. When I became the Vice Chancellor of this great university, I made a public commitment that would make quality and transformative education accessible and affordable to academically capable young people of our country, regardless of their financial circumstances. Indeed, we must do all in our power to attract the best and the brightest from every section of our society and provide them with an opportunity to realize their hopes, dreams, and aspirations. In this regard, I humbly request you to help us honor this commitment by contributing generously to our annual fundraising campaign and other initiatives. It is important that we make the learning experiences we value so greatly here at Rhodes more available to all. Today is your special day to cherish and remember. May you cherish your university experience and the privilege of an excellent education you have received from this great university. May you cherish and treasure the bonds of friendship formed at Rhodes University and rooted in shared experiences and memories. And may these sustain you and last you a lifetime. We wish you much success, happiness, and fulfillment in the years ahead. We know that you will play your part in making this world a better place for all of us and for generations to come as you brighten the corner where you are. For two of our highly esteemed colleagues, the 2019 graduation ceremonies are their last ones in which they will participate in their official capacities. Our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Student Affairs, Professor Chris Bowie, and our Public Auditor, distinguished Professor Paul Malem, will relinquish their roles in the course of the year 2019. Both of them have served our university loyally and with great honor, dedication, and distinction for many years. On behalf of our Chancellor, Council, and the entire Rhodes University community, we wish to convey to you both our heartfelt appreciation and deep gratitude for all that you have done for our university. Our university is much the better for the immense contribution you have made over the years. We wish you well in the next phase of your ever-unfolding future. On this special day when we celebrate success and achievement, let us pause and remember those students who were our graduates, classmates, and friends who died during the course of their studies. They too would be graduating from Rhodes University this morning. Borrowing from a well-known comfort poem, so long as we live, they too shall live, for they are part of us as we remember them. To all of you, our graduates, Mazel Tov. Sante sana enkosi, gyalibucha, ngiyabonga. Inkom, shukran, merci beaucoup, bayadanki, obrigado. Thank you very much.
If a non-scientist was asked to name a world-renowned physicist of recent times, the name most likely to come up would probably be Stephen Hawking. Over 45 years ago, Hawking worked closely with a fellow postdoctoral student at Cambridge. This was George Ellis. The two wrote a book together, The Large-Scale Structure of Space-Time, published in 1973. Described as a masterpiece, the book was translated into Russian and Chinese, attracted nearly 10,000 citations, and became a standard reference work. Professor Ellis's distinguished career has been marked by a lengthy association with the University of Cape Town, first as a student in the late 1950s, then as Professor of Applied Mathematics from 1974 until 2005, and since then as Emeritus Professor. He might have gained even greater international renown had he stayed at Cambridge, where he engaged in research and teaching in the 1960s and early 1970s. But he found life there too parochial and missed walking on his beloved Table Mountain, so was back to UCT. His research output over the last 50 or more years has been remarkable. 16 books and about 450 articles or papers to his name, one of only 3 South African scholars to have enjoyed to this day a continuous National Research Foundation A rating since rating was first introduced in 1984. Visiting professorships in the UK, the US and Canada, conference papers and seminars delivered in many different countries across the world. Equally remarkable has been the broad range of his research interests in the natural and mathematical sciences, a specialization in general relativity theory, an area first investigated by Einstein, the nature of space-time, theoretical and observational cosmology. Perhaps more than anybody, he has developed cosmology and astronomy as fields of study in South Africa, with many of his former students going on to run departments in these areas. His role in building this intellectual capacity, enabling the construction of massive astronomy facilities, such as the square-kilometre array radio telescope in the Karoo, a project to which he has rendered significant support. At this point, one might be thinking of Professor Ellis as just a blue sky researcher. Not so at all. The breadth of his research interests has been extraordinary. Maths education and science policy coming under his scrutiny. There are papers on how quality of life should be measured. 2 co-authored books on low-income housing and informal settlements in the Western Cape, and a co-edited book on substance abuse. Our honorary graduand is a true interdisciplinarian, his work straddling physics, mathematics, philosophy, psychology, neuroscience, and theology. The philosophy of cosmology, a particular interest, along with theories of causation and empirical verifiability in science. With this goes an underlying belief that scientists operate from philosophical premises, whether they admit to this or not. And he stresses science's limitations. Scientific knowledge, he says, will always be partial and incomplete, and science cannot comprehend everything of value to humankind. For instance, such matters as the appreciation of beauty, the greatness of literature, the nature of evil, or the understanding of love. Then there is Professor Ellis's deep interest in the interface between science and religion, taking theology courses while at Cambridge, becoming a Quaker in 1974, serving as a member of the Quaker Service Committee from that time, often holding the chair. Wherever there was poverty, prisons, or peacemaking, he has said, you'd find Quakers. His co-authored book on the moral nature of the universe shows how science and religion can be brought together in a coherent way, while also emphasizing that implicit views on morality underlie all social sciences. Ethical considerations permeate his thinking and work. For him, self-sacrificing love is the true nature of morality. The foundational line of true ethical behavior, he says, its main guiding principle, valid across all times and cultures, is the degree of freedom from self-centeredness of thought and behavior, and willingness freely to give up one's own self-interest on behalf of others. This has been no armchair thinking on his part. George Ellis has been a scholar and an activist. This activism, perhaps in part owing to parental influence. His father, a liberal journalist, and his mother, a founding member of the Black Sash, the women's anti-apartheid movement. George Ellis's own involvement during the apartheid years included support for development projects initiated by Steve Biko, raising awareness of the appalling living conditions in Western Cape informal settlements, and helping to expose the apartheid state's brutal third force activities and hit squad operations during the early 1990s. It will not come as a surprise that Professor Ellis has been the recipient of many awards, too numerous to list in full. Just to mention, the Star of South Africa Medal, presented by President Mandela in 1999. The Order of Mapungubwe in silver, conferred by President Mbeki in 2006. The Templeton Prize, presented by the Duke of Edinburgh at Buckingham Palace in 2004, and awarded for Professor Ellis's contributions to the dialogue between science and religion. In the nomination for this prize, it was stated that he had demonstrated how genuine religious and theological perspectives can help us to understand the constitution and character of our universe in terms of kenosis, self-sacrificing love. The whole prize, worth about 10 million rand at the time, was given away to worthy causes. Today's will be George Ellis's 7th honorary doctorate, awarded to a philanthropist, an activist, to one of South Africa's most distinguished scientists, reckoned to be the leading thinker in science policy in this country, and ranked among a handful of the world's leading relativistic cosmologists. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour to request you to confer on George Ellis the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Chancellor, Justice Lex Mpati, Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Sizwe Mabizela, Chairperson and members of the Rhodes University Council, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Peter Clayton, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Chrissy Bowie, the Public Orator, Distinguished Professor Paul Malem, Deans, academic support, staff and students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and not least, new graduates and families and guardians of graduates. It is a great honour to be here today. I'm delighted to receive an honorary degree from Rhodes University, which is such an illustrious institution with such a proud history. Thank you for this award, which I will treasure. I'm going to, in some sense, echo quite a bit of what has been said, but it's worth saying. I want to start by congratulating all the graduating students. You've worked hard and proved you can do well, and are receiving a degree which recognizes that you now have valuable specialist knowledge and abilities. You are an expert in some area of thought, and your degree certifies that this is the case. Congratulations on this achievement and for persevering with all the commitment that this entails. Your family and friends are proud of you for this achievement. A graduation is always a joyful occasion. You finished one stage of life and are moving on to another. And the ceremony recognizes both your achievements and the transition you are making. Opportunities and possibilities are opening up before you. Decisions will have to be made. Life will be different from now on. It may be a bit intimidating, but hopefully also exhilarating. It is a great step in life. I want to emphasize that you are being awarded your degrees by a world-class institution. What this means is that they will be recognized everywhere in this country and indeed anywhere in the world. The degree has such a value because of the status and recognition this university has achieved through the dedicated work of hundreds of academics and staff over the course of more than a century. They have built up an institution of real worth whose imprimatur is on your degree certificate. This gives you access to many further opportunities both here and abroad. In my own case, I was able to go to Cambridge and be accepted into a PhD program there because those at Cambridge knew that my BSc degree from UCT was world-class. Because of it, I've been able to contribute to the development of scientific knowledge in my own society and with research groups around the world. Treasure what it means to be awarded your degree from this institution and that your academic achievement will be recognized anywhere in the world, as well as by businesses and other institutions in South Africa. The international recognition your degree will receive is part of a significant theme. Students from Africa, in particular South Africa, can have the same success as students from anywhere in the world. In intellectual terms, we form part of a global community and can produce intellects and abilities that are amongst the best in the world. That is what this university, my own university, stand for and are part of. Our graduates are equal to those in other parts of Africa, India, England, the United States, France, Germany, in every way. Let's rejoice in this worldwide connection and recognition. This is particularly demonstrated through the PhDs that will be awarded today. The undergraduates have demonstrated their depth of understanding of their subject, which is a great achievement, but a PhD is something more. Each PhD represents research work that has extended human knowledge to where no one has ever been before. Each graduating PhD student has become a world expert in some specific area because they are at the cutting edge of creating new understanding that has never before existed in the history of the earth. The whole PhD examination process by experts in your subject verifies that this is indeed so. So you are trailblazers in your topic, leading the way in human understanding, and you have tamed some part of the unknown. Human knowledge is a little bit greater now because of your work, and that's a wonderful achievement. You have, of course, built on the work of countless others that have created the amazing structure of human science and technology, which is a vast cooperative enterprise that has achieved extraordinary results, such as aircraft and dams, iPhones, and the internet. Isaac Newton said he achieved what he did because he stood on the shoulders of giants. And that is indeed true. But the extra point he did not say is that when he stood on the shoulders of giants, he then looked in the right direction. That capacity... That capacity to see where the new developments will arise, what is the direction that needs investigation and will produce new results, that capacity is at the heart of human creativity and achievement. Incidentally, as has been mentioned, South Africa is a world leader in radio astronomy through the development of the Square Kilometre Array radio telescope at Carnarvon in the Karoo. And Rhodes University has played a significant role in the development of that project. You are graduating with degrees in science. This is a subject that has the ability to change the world. It is common in history to focus on rulers and their subjects, armies and battles, the rise and fall of empires, political leaders and political issues. These are, of course, important, but in the broader view of things, all of these people are users of technology that makes the deeper changes to human history. Thus, in a real sense, history is about the rise and use of science and technology. Let me illustrate by some specific examples. Isaac Newton was the first to understand the laws of motion that govern how objects move. This underlies all engineering, such as the design of motor cars and aircraft, and will continue to be the foundation of mechanical engineering as long as we design and make them. James Clerk Maxwell discovered the way that electricity and magnetism work together to create light. And this led to the recognition of the possibility of radio. And so Maxwell's theory led to the existence of radio, television, iPhones, and GPS systems. This will continue to be the basis of radio technology for all time. He has transformed everyone's life. Alan Turing worked out how general-purpose computers could be constructed and so laid the foundations for all digital computers and the huge revolution in our lives that entailed. Charlie Towns worked out the possibility of the laser and so made the existence of CDs and DVDs possible, as well as transforming experimental physics and parts of engineering. Alan Cormack worked out the theory of a CAT scanner and constructed the first working model of one at the University of Cape Town, transforming medicine forever. CAT scans, PET scans, MRI scans are now a routine part of medicine and are transforming neuroscience. Grace Hopper transformed computing by developing the first compiler ever. It is because of her that you can enter easily understood commands on your computer instead of having to tell it what to do in binary code, which is an almost impossible task. In each case, and I could mention many more, these discoveries were then adopted by all countries in all parts of the world, irrespective of their political systems or philosophical ideologies. These discoveries are the common property of all humanity and will remain so until life on earth ceases. They are the truly transformative forces in society over the long term. An amazing local example is Siobulele Kuza, who began experimenting with rocket fuels in his mother's kitchen. This passion turned into a serious science project that culminated in him developing a cheaper and safer rocket fuel that was used by NASA. His science project won gold at the National Science Expo and the Derek Gray Memorial Award for the most prestigious project in South Africa. This led to an invitation to the International Youth Science Fair in Sweden in 2006, where he presented his project to the King and Queen of Sweden and attended the Nobel Prize ceremony in Stockholm. Kuza's field of expertise is energy storage, and he is currently developing a sustainable model for energy storage based on microfuel cells in South Africa. He says, "I'm motivated not by material things, but by achieving significance." His long-term goal centre on creating his own energy solution company, something he says will help harness Africa's potential in the energy economy. So as you go out and enter your new life, be creative. Imagine what can be done and work out how to do it and make it happen. You have the power to make a real difference at either a fundamental level or in the application of what we know to society around us. Treasure that opportunity and use it. But as well as developing and using your technical capacity, what matters crucially are your values as you lead your lives. What contribution you make will depend on the values that underlie your work and your life. And there are two specific issues I want to mention in this regard. First, there's the basic issue of the direction one's life takes. Martin Luther King said, "An individual has not started living until he or she can rise above the narrow confines of his or her own individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. Every person must decide whether he or she will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destruction, selfishness. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" In the end, there's only one real question facing us. Are we living our lives just for ourselves or the common good? Are we concerned just with our own welfare or with the welfare of others? This is the key individual choice we will all make. And if we choose just to work for our own welfare, we won't contribute to making this country a better place. We won't be playing the role we ought to in making South Africa a place worthwhile living for everyone. Secondly, this issue arises also in societies and in the world at large. Globally, we're experiencing a crisis of rising anger and resentment. Inequality and cultural differences are leading to group conflicts based on polarization and the idea of us against them, leading to devaluing the other and, in extreme cases, to xenophobia. We are staring into an abyss of conflict and destruction as sectional interests divide us and generate hatred and fear. You have to choose where you stand in facing the situation and how it will work out in your working life. Your actions will make a difference. The future of this country in particular depends on a values renewal in public life, the need for a change to a spirit of caring for others, caring for the poor, and valuing the humanity of all. This is indeed taking place in many cases. Many individual actions and wonderful NGO projects across the country are based in this idea, but it is often not the spirit of the country at large, where many people are sowing divisions and telling people it is us against them. We are all in this together in South Africa, and the challenge now is to resist stereotyping as we challenge inequality. We will do this if we give one another the chance to be part of the change for the better for all, rather than working against groups we designate as outsiders for whatever reason. We each have one life and one chance to do something worth doing. It's crucial in creating a better life for all that we rise above the temptation to stereotype, treating everyone around us with respect and dignity, no matter what group they belong to, insisting on our common interests and common humanity. Following the clarion call by Bishop Tutu, we must resist denying anyone's humanity or demeaning them. While not tolerating racism and other prejudices, we must still see the common humanity of each of us as is so beautifully entailed in the traditional African spirit of Ubuntu. Then we will be building a country worth living in. We must, of course, do this with a sound understanding of the context in which we live, of being part of Africa but also part of the wider world, contributing to and benefiting from both. And we must understand our South African historical context of achievement and failures, of repression and struggle, as well as its present context of inequality and possibility, which is the challenge we face. As to this history, there's just one thing I wish to say. The struggle against apartheid had many aspects carried out by a variety of people, I think it should be better known that UCT and Wits and Rhodes are part of a strong resistance of resisting injustice, with staff and students having stood up against apartheid for decades. As to the present, we are a country in a state of crisis because of massive poverty and inequality, a dysfunctional school system, massive corruption in the public sphere, and the undermining of public institutions for sectional interests and to protect corruption. We face a significant housing and employment crisis which need urgent action, and we are in much pain and anger about the situation. This is the context in which you will be working and seeing what you can do. Despite these negatives, we are also in a country of possibility. As I've suggested, the country needs a renaissance of sound values in public life, resisting corruption, working for the common good, recognizing hurt and poverty and inequality, and working to counteract these baleful residues of the past, and supporting those working to create the values needed for a better life, often at considerable cost. So as well as your technical role, which I've talked about, there's an important role to be played in building up a country that can work economically and socially. The creative challenge is to see how to do this. And I just want to make one comment here. It's always been my experience that in working together on a joint project with people of integrity and goodwill, race, religion, and gender become irrelevant. A spirit of good humour, tolerance, respect, and problem solving is possible and does happen when people trust one another's integrity and work together for the good of the whole. So I wish you all well as you make your way into the future. You have the ability to make a sound contribution to correcting what is wrong in society and improving life for all.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science on the following candidates. Shana Helen Asherwood. Klasumzi Babu. Utuma Balintulu. Kirsty Lee Ball. Emma Catherine Bell. Ilan Ben David with distinctions in economics and environmental science. Tani Tashia Bennett. Blake Benjamin Brody. Kirsten Brown. Pumza Talana. Leah Sessler. Beverly Tendai Chanaiwa. Tavonga Delroy Chifamba. Tinashi Roy Chizema. Daryl Malcolm Clark. Siposihle Piwe Clay. Ulrico de Bruyn with distinction in human kinetics and ergonomics. Sergio Luc de Souza. Siebolela Tandolwetu Daliwe. Janae Delport. Prince Chinyama. Luc Charles de Tom. Lungile Day. Priyashini Dava. Patrick Francis Dillon. Russell Bruce Dixon with distinction in ichthyology. Nomvuyo Dlamini. Taylor Devon Dodge. Michael Pierre Duplessis. Sky Carol Dutoy. Dennis Kuzivakwashi Senele Dube with distinction in geology. Nabila Adam Duda. Sean Nance Forster with distinctions in biochemistry and microbiology. Pelokazi, France. Amy Lee Freeman, with distinction in geography. Ukushle Fumba. Joseph Mufaro Gasura. Nolita Takasi. Sinako Gobozi. Callan John Gunn. Sisipo Hamlomo with distinctions in mathematical statistics and mathematics. Francis Brian Hand. Jamie Harris, with distinctions in botany and entomology. Liteletu Hashe. Nadia Hussein, with distinction in geology. Emanuela Bia Ikwin, with distinction in geology. Nathan Nyembo Ilunga. Ilago Marta Iambo. Zakira Jaffa. Christopher Roy Johnson. Imbulelo Jokazi. Kanya Zimkita Jonas. Hamza Kala. Thomas Kenyon, with distinctions in biochemistry and microbiology. Mokotladi Letajo Khomeswana. Injabulo Fortune Kumalu. Robert Daniel Kincaid, with distinctions in applied mathematics and physics. Joshua Desmond Brian Knock, with distinction in biochemistry. Samantha Jane Kruger. Corbin Reese Langley. Susan Andiswa Litya. Royston Mario Lebao. Kirsten Judy Lockington. Anthony Izzy Lukamani. Nonklankla Linda Lupade, with distinction in applied mathematics. Amanda Luana. Futomi Mabasu. Nokrolo Penelope Mabena. Vuyo Luetu Mahe. Tokozani Maklaule. Nicolene Nyirai Makua. Kelebuchile Khmotso Malope. Mami Nicole Mamfi with distinction in microbiology. Kanya Kwezi Manyati. Maklatsi Lucky Mapukani. Edmore Marima with distinctions in geology and mathematical statistics. Tato Morope with distinction in information systems. Tsungai Vesta Mashingyadze with distinction in biochemistry. Brooke Shannon Mason. Nkosazane Ba Mosuku. Lorraine Teriro Matanti Rocha with distinctions in biochemistry and microbiology. Michelle Rumbidzai Maziofa. Nomabelo Mbane. Michlali Mbunge. Caitlin Lorraine McQuillan. Nomonde Chivius Ndluli. Tutula Mela. Liam David Meltzer. Ponzo Menalisi. Sivenati Mgudlwa. Nikitemba Ngweba. Bonga Mklawi. Shannon Diane Milne. Nonkululeko Amanda Mkalipi. Masejo Matli with distinction in biochemistry. Zuko Mtringri. Jan Mosebe Mofokeng. Itaboho Gloria Mochakomo. Lerato Catherine Mokatimi. Lesede Maklati Mokoni. Junaid Moodley. Okang Maureen Musasi. Kamogelo Orekapotse Mosiani, with distinction in biochemistry. Philip Stanley Mostert, with distinctions in economics and mathematical statistics. Retabili Naledi Ipatsue. Anati Msutu. Zintle Mtitsilana. Dini Mtirara. Margaret Sekanawo Mtali. Reese Snell. Joshua Tendekai Nguarai. Buchlik Bokona, praise God in Kabinde. Mpwetse Hilda Nketsi, with distinction in economics. Siseto Melissa Nkula. Sindisiwe Nongwina. Apiwe Pamela Nombanga. Stephen Antonio Nunish. David Abern. Nicole Omalade Oyatunji. Andesiwe Paliso. Avela Pamla. Yayun Park. Yukon Park. Andresia Grayson Pillay. Louise Carmen Poole with distinction in computer science. Precious Ratabile Relating. Ofense Ramachachori. Boikancho Romakosi. Kimberly Reed. Catherine Reeve. Nomfundu Anja Sebakamotsi. Chipiso Colin Seboko. Martin Shuku Simango with distinctions in computer science and mathematics. Ethel Tatenda Singizi with distinction in economics. Jeffrey Duncan Skeen. Annemie Smith. Dumisani Jonah Solani. Intobeko Sontrata. Yam Keleni Sopopaza. Tatos Bremok. Georgia Ann Masejos and Quinton. Jesse Clint Standard. Emma Jane Sturck. Jamie Lee Stone with distinctions in biochemistry and microbiology. Stuart Hugh Stopford. Benjamin Steenfeld Strelitz with distinctions in applied mathematics and mathematical statistics. Bronwyn Kate Trafford. Cara Marie Trevella. Moipone Elizabeth Swani. Luto Shambo. Oreteng Sokalibani. Vuyakazi Twani. Elizabeth Ann van der Merwe. Salea Wouda. Rendani Vele. Ariana Heloise Jo Watkins with distinctions in biochemistry and microbiology. Cian Jordan War. Sven Erik Weiss. Brian Alistair Wellman with distinctions in computer science and mathematics. Megan Ashley Willemsen. Oscar Wooten. Ross Michael Wortley. Liam Dougal Yell. Sopakama Zabo. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science Information Systems on the following candidates. Jordan Tunadaishi Chioka, with distinction in Information Systems. Dane Seymour Horn, with distinctions in Computer Science and Information Systems. Stephen James Hunt, with distinctions in Computer Science and Information Systems. Martin Jonathan Kleinboy. Imsimalelelo Mambo. Natsai Masamvu. Kudakwaishe Philip Maiza. Nduvazi Proficient Nkansi. Sakele Molweni. Mwazvita Maurice Jr. Mutuo. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science with honors on the following candidates. Sarah Lee Agar in Human Kinetics and Ergonomics. Cassandra Barker in Marine Biology. Matthew William Barwick in Biotechnology with distinction. Kanyisili Tato Fatima Buthelezi in Biotechnology. Devin Russell Cash in Biochemistry. Rebecca Ann Kaywood in Entomology. Chirtizo Respina Chamboko in Biochemistry. Nsikelelo Charles in Physics. Asanda Sandra Trili in Environmental Water Management. Von Guy Tharmo Chandeka in Computer Science. Peter Francis Clutie in Geology. Benjamin Johannes Kutzer in Ichthyology and Fishery Science. Chantal Desiree Daub in Biochemistry with distinction. Claudia Desfontaine in Chemistry with distinction. Somila Dingaswayo in Chemistry. Taylor Rhiannon Domini in Environmental Water Management with distinction. Jessica Marguerite Eggers in Ichthyology and Fishery Science with distinction. Ryan Matthew Foster in Ichthyology and Fishery Science. Hilton Gallagher in Computer Science with distinction. Amy Simone Galvin in Environmental Science with distinction. Sean Neil Hartley in Chemistry with distinction. Nosipo Priti Klalukana in Biochemistry. Gwyneth Laura James in Human Kinetics and Ergonomics. Diana Ketumetse-Ketsi in geology. David Louis Kinsler in geography with distinction. Elisa Kerrigan in biochemistry with distinction. Jared Brenton Labaskachny in geology. Tamara Jane Lancaster, jointly in computer science and physics. Wiebke Lagner in environmental water management with distinction. Brendan Mark Lilford in chemistry. Damien Daniel James Lawrence in botany. Michle Mbangengelele in biotechnology. Bawinile Machlaba in environmental water management. Bonolo Maloma in human kinetics and ergonomics. Zizipo Makokolo in mathematical statistics. Nseka Thomas Mosoabi in geology. Siso Magpa in biotechnology. Sean Stephen McQuillan in geology. Nonkazimulo Dorothea Ndidimba in zoology. Bukanani Asonele Ndutla in environmental water management. Lebochang Bruce Mshangana in applied mathematics. Innocent Sibusiso Ngome Zulu in economics. Well done. Kopano Nona Mokwena in environmental water management. Nicholas Volker Moorcroft in computer science. Nasipi Mpiti in chemistry with distinction. Onke Mtini in chemistry. Hilbert Munashi Muchatibaya in information systems. Maxine Chiedza Muchatibaya in mathematical statistics. Murindeni Mulamu in economics. Gerard Nangtas jointly in computer science and mathematics with distinction. Miklo Nikki Ndleve in computer science. Laura Jade Nisbet in biochemistry. Luzuku Nzayo in mathematics. Dupi Ruth Ocho in biotechnology. Siolise Pungu Pungu in geology. Samantha Lee Prinsloo in entomology. Melissa Trabashe Khala in environmental science. Africa Kamusi Rumuima in geology. William Ignatius Snell Rawson in entomology with distinction. Seshni Reddy in ichthyology and fishery science. Craig Lawrence Rennie in ichthyology and fishery science with distinction. Daniel James Rogers in entomology. Emma Sandenberg, jointly in botany and environmental science with distinction. Teriro Sitole in biotechnology. Kamir Smuts in human kinetics and ergonomics. Mbasa Stumper in biotechnology. Rebecca Joy Stevenson in geography. Jessica Sinclair Swan in microbiology. Kristen Emma Tunison in information systems. Ziyanda Vulyalwa Twala in economics. Sarah Lynn Wilmot in biochemistry with distinction. Alexander Robert Wolf in biochemistry. Sinokola Klanti in applied mathematics with distinction. Duncan Kyle Yap in biochemistry with distinction. Alexandra Jean Yell in biotechnology with distinction. Shanae Vanessa Zimmerman in human kinetics and ergonomics. Ekona Zozo in entomology. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on the following candidates. Natasha Marie Irene Bowl in biochemistry. The extracellular matrix functions as a cellular glue to maintain cell structure and identity in tissues. Alterations to this matrix promotes cancer development. Natasha used molecular biology techniques coupled to advanced microscopy to understand the relationship between stress proteins and this matrix. Natasha's thesis described how blocking stress protein function altered the levels and architecture of the extracellular matrix. This is important therapeutically and provides critical insight into the control of biological processes required for cancer metastasis. Christopher Scott Bover in fisheries science. Recreational fisheries are characterized by high rates of non-compliance to regulations, and this threatens their sustainability. Traditionally, compliance has been enforced using penalties for transgressors. Christopher developed an improved method to obtain truthful responses from anglers about their compliance, and then conducted a national face-to-face survey to estimate the rate of non-compliance and its drivers within South Africa. He found high rates of non-compliance and concluded alternative interventions, such as improving the perceptions of the legitimacy of the management agency and also altering social norms that may be more effective for reducing non-compliance in recreational fisheries worldwide. Michelle Ann Caputo in marine biology. Michelle assessed the importance of the Wild Coast region along the Eastern Cape Coast as a habitat for long-beaked and bottlenose dolphins. Using a combination of aerial and boat-based surveys and in conjunction with stable isotope analyses, she demonstrated that the 2 dolphin species were found year-round in the area and also highlighted the importance of this region as an important foraging ground. The main findings of the study will inform management and contribute to the conservation of marine mammals along the South African coastline. Veronique Chartier-Fitzgerald in microbiology. Commercial forests in South Africa cover 1.3 million hectares, half of which is of one species, the patula pine. This industry is, however, threatened by a fungal pathogen called pitch canker. Veronique's research established that nursery seedling roots are poorly colonized with symbiotic ectomycorrhizal fungi, allowing for the proliferation of non-beneficial fungi. Experimentally, she showed that the inoculation of seedlings with selected ectomycorrhizal fungi improved growth, even when challenged with the pathogen, indicating the need to inoculate young seedlings with effective fungal partners to ensure successful establishment in plantations. Jonathan Anthony Noel Denizen in geography. Smallholder irrigation schemes are promoted as a way to improve rural livelihoods, but in many cases they're not sustainable and fail to produce the envisaged outcomes. Jonathan investigated the reasons for success or failure of schemes in the Limpopo province. Maintaining a gravity-fed water supply instead of installing pumps or facilitating land exchange are 2 examples of success factors found in this study. His findings will inform strategic decisions regarding technological choices for infrastructure, land, and water institutional interventions. Edith Dube in chemistry. Currently, chemotherapy indiscriminately destroys both healthy and cancerous tissue. Edith developed cancer-specific drugs that are activated only by light. By linking nanoparticles to these drugs, she developed a double-action system which uses heat and light to treat cancer. She also engineered nanoparticles which are attracted to cancer only, thus reducing damage to healthy cells. Her research will go a long way in alleviating the suffering of patients undergoing chemotherapy. Murray Ian Duncan in ichthyology. The response of fish populations to climate change is underpinned by their physiological capacity, and this may be impacted by exploitation. Using an endemic sea bream as a model species, Murray examined whether exploitation can drive populations to be less physiologically resilient to climate change. Murray found that selective fishing reduces the physiological diversity of fishes, and this places species at high risk in variable climatic conditions. These globally relevant findings suggest that the establishment of marine protected areas may prevent a way to mitigate the impacts of climate change on fishes. Ikbon Nathaniel Igbon in entomology. When a plant is grown outside of its indigenous distribution, it escapes the specialist insect herbivores that feed on it. This escape from herbivory has evolutionary consequences. Ikbon investigated the evolutionary changes that have occurred in a South American plant that has become problematic as a weed in South Africa. This plant has evolved weed-like traits, which is bad news. However, the weed is still susceptible to herbivory, suggesting that biological control using specialized insects could still be an effective management solution. Chantal Elston in ichthyology. Chantal used multiple methods to investigate the ecology and conservation needs of a multi-species stingray community at a pristine tropical atoll. Passive acoustic tracking revealed restricted movements and long-range residency to the atoll, with juveniles preferring shallow habitats. Dispersal from the atoll was also observed in larger individuals. Stomach contents and stable isotope analyses identified both inter- and intra-specific prey partitioning. The designation of a marine protected area at this remote site would confer high conservation benefits to the stingray community. Ibrahim Frieslar in computer science. Side channel attacks use elements such as power usage or radio emissions from electronic devices to steal critical cryptographic information such as encryption keys. Ibrahim's research developed a novel software-based means of mitigating these attacks. Ibrahim proved that software can actually be used instead to fix a hardware flaw. In the future, embedded systems can be protected with a software update rather than expensive mechanical shielding, such as wire cages or re-engineering, which is normally used. Huko Gusha in environmental science. With a growing population and demand for food, we need to improve the efficiency of agriculture production. The Eastern Cape supports 3.2 million head of cattle, which are owned by small farmers and households. Improving the performance of farmers while maintaining resource integrity is therefore a priority. Huko assessed the production efficiency of households owning livestock and found that female-headed households were the most efficient. This efficiency can be further improved with better access to markets, assistance with feed, and with labor. Alan Herbert in computer science. NetFlow is a technology historically used for monitoring traffic on computer networks, thereby providing a concise record of parties that communicate with one another. Alan's research developed a scalable hybrid framework with custom software and hardware components, allowing for the aggregation and processing of traffic from large networks. Network traffic was then analyzed against a number of novel detection models. The ability to perform threat analysis without having the need to directly access the actual communication contents off the network is shown to improve network performance and privacy. Charles Frenderson Kankuzi in geology. Charles discovered and investigated gemstone deposits in Malawi containing beryl, aquamarine, tourmaline, topaz, and ruby. These gemstones formed from magma 4 to 8 kilometers deep, and in several episodes from about 2,000 to 120 million years ago. Gemstones deposits are more common in Malawi than previously known, and are likely to become a significant factor in the economy, particularly benefiting the population in rural and poorly developed regions. Congratulations. Jonathan Simon Kenyon in physics. The imaging performance of radio telescopes is often limited by the speed and accuracy of the calibration process. Jonathan developed an extensive mathematical framework for calibration, employing novel complex optimization techniques, and implemented in a comprehensive software package. The Cubical package is already behind many of the spectacular images coming out the Meerkat radio telescope, including the groundbreaking image of the galactic center unveiled at Meerkat's inauguration ceremony recently. Notiswa Libala in water resource science. Hill slope seeps are unique and important wetlands that provide a variety of ecosystem services to society. Yet they're amongst the most threatened and least studied wetland systems in South Africa. Using a social ecological systems approach and drawing on a range of research methods, Notiswa's research shed light on the vulnerability and resilience of hill slope seep vegetation cover to grazing. The integrative approach to sustainable use and management clearly highlighted the central role of local communities as key landscape stakeholders. Impo Stephen Marfa in biochemistry. Termites are well-known aggressive degraders of terrestrial matter, degrading about 90% of the Earth's woody or lignocellulosic biomass. Some termites are unable to digest woody tissue on their own and therefore have to rely on microbes in their guts to produce the required digestive enzymes to decompose lignocelluloses into sugars and other products. Impo successfully expressed 4 of these enzymes cloned from a termite gut, characterized them biochemically, and shows that these enzymes can be applied synergistically to agricultural waste substrates, such as corn cob and sweet sorghum bagasse, for more efficient production of biofuels for the bioeconomy. Mutumuni Elizabeth Managa in chemistry. Mutumuni designed cancer drugs by skillfully modifying the structure of molecules found within naturally occurring living systems. Unfortunately, the main problem of cancer drugs is the indiscriminate destruction of both healthy and cancerous tissue. Because of a family tragedy, Mutumuni was inspired to engineer nanocarriers for efficient delivery of cancer drugs to specific cancerous areas, thus avoiding the detrimental effects of treatments such as radiation and chemotherapy, and in the process, saving lives. Gugu Florence Msani in chemistry. Dye-sensitized solar cells mimic natural processes of capturing solar energy using photoactive dye molecules. This offers many advantages over existing silicon photovoltaics, including printing lightweight cells on flexible plastic sheets. Gugu studied the optimization of each aspect of the cell to improve energy conversion and cost. Improvements including a novel cheap cerium-doped catalyst, a nanowire electrode, and even a computational model have all increased our understanding of these solar cells. You may soon see wearable dye-sensitized solar cells as fashion items in the future. Kudzai, Tapiwanashi, Eso, and Tambanengwe in microbiology. The African bollworm is an insect pest causing severe damage to a variety of stable food crops. In South Africa and other countries, the pest is partly controlled using a virus, which in contrast to chemical insecticides is environmentally friendly and does not harm beneficial insects. In his thesis, Kudzai isolated and characterized a novel South African virus, which he recovered from bollworms infesting a green pepper plantation outside Grahamstown. The novel virus was found to be genetically distinct and has superior virulence against the pest compared to other commercially available virus isolates. Mpo, Hello, and Gwepe in chemistry. Conditions such as tuberculosis and asthma cause distress and mortality to millions. One treatment option is to deliver medicines directly to the lungs. This non-invasive technique, however, suffers from several drawbacks with poor treatment outcomes. Mpo constructed a computational model based on clinical scans of patients' lungs, and then used this model to develop 2 nanotechnology drug delivery systems, which are being studied further to better deliver treatment directly to the lungs, especially to children and the elderly. Christian Nkanga Isalomboto in chemistry. Liposomes are tiny lipid-based structures that are increasingly important in drug delivery. They offer many advantages, including stabilizing both water and fat-soluble medicines. The major drawback, however, is the exorbitant cost of highly purified lipids needed. Christian's research has demonstrated that, for the first time, liposomes for tuberculosis treatment can be made from cheaply available crude soybean lecithin. His research also highlighted their potential by endowing them with stimuli-responsive properties. These smart nanomaterials release a cargo selectively, offering a new hope to clinicians and patients. Gonyeme Olajide Orerinlo in chemistry. Tuberculosis and malaria continue to have a devastating impact on many resource-poor countries. Chemotherapy remains one of the critical tools in the control and management of these diseases. A major challenge has been the rising number of cases of drug-resistant strains that render existing clinical drugs ineffective. Gwenyeme's research took advantage of public databases to make new molecules envisaged to overcome the problem of resistance. Some of these compounds proved very potent against selected strains of these diseases and are being investigated further with collaborative partners. David Lawrence Penkler in bioinformatics. This research presents a significant contribution to the understanding of protein allosteric. David developed novel computational methods for identification of allosteric control elements in large multi-domain systems, the utility of which led to the discovery of several South African natural product compound modulators in the 90 kilodalton molecular protein range used for cancer treatment. David's work has been internationally recognized and provides a valuable platform for the development of novel anti-cancer therapeutics, as well as methods for probing allostery in any protein system. Thank you. Lester Takunda Sugauki in chemistry. Reperfusion injury to heart muscle occurs when blood flow is restored following a heart attack. In the search for a new medical treatment for reperfusion injury, Lester studied how the molecules of existing treatments twisted and folded, and how this affected their interaction with proteins in heart tissue. He then applied his analysis to a virtual library he developed containing 15 billion possible molecules. From all these possibilities, he's identified several new compounds that show promise as improved agents for protection against reperfusion injury. Roxanne Thornton in biochemistry. Forensic identification of stillborn or suspected infanticide cases is often impossible due to advanced decomposition of remains. In order to allow medical legal investigation, it is essential that accurate biological age be determined. Roxanne conducted the first multidisciplinary study integrating anthropological bone measurements with forensic imaging and molecular techniques to predict biological age. Her thesis provided novel insight into osteological changes during development and developed the first set of parameters to determine biological age ranges of perinatal individuals using bones. Tenda Mudzimo, Chihuahua, in chemistry. Coumarins are a class of compounds having biological, medicinal, and industrial importance. Found in nature, these compounds are produced in plants through biosynthetic pathways, starting with the compound orthocoumaric acid. There are also many other aspects of this process that are not fully understood. So using state-of-the-art computational methods involving hybrid quantum mechanics and molecular mechanics multiscale modeling, Tenda Mudzimu was able to provide a detailed evidence of the existence of a crucial enzyme-mediated isomerization step in the plant-mediated formation of coumarins. Congratulations. Yvette Ethny van Wyk in botany. This study is based on years of observations of the plants associated with caves and other habitation sites of humans in the Southern Cape. Yvette documented the species present at these sites and related this to current indigenous knowledge to plant uses by the Khoi and their descendants that still live in the area. Yvette's findings indicate that prehistoric man modified the environment in the vicinity of these sites and lived in a complex association with plants known to be edible or to have medicinal uses. I'd also like to point out to the audience that Yvette last walked across the graduation stage from Rhodes University 57 years ago. Where she was conferred the degree of Bachelor of Fine Art. She will now, in June this year, celebrate her 78th birthday as a doctor. Congratulations. Matthew James Tanduklola Weaver in Water Resource Science. Matthew has worked in the Makanda Grahamstown for 4 years on the volatile topic of water, which remains an issue of equity and dignity. Matthew collaborated closely with a local civil society organization called Water for Dignity. Out of that engaged action research came the emergence of the Makana Water Forum, a comprehensively representative institution for participatory water governance. Innovative application of systems thinking and learning theory catalyzed changes in water governments towards greater fairness. His work deepens democracy locally and within South Africa. Alexander Klaus Winkler in Fishery Science. Although the coastal waters of the northern Benguela region are threatened by growing coastal fisheries and rapid ocean warming, there's very little ecological information available for its fish species. Alex examined the movement behavior of leofus, a large predatory species, using acoustic telemetry, conventional tagging, catch rate monitoring, and fisher knowledge. He found considerable behavioral diversity in its migration patterns and daily movements, and concluded that ocean warming and spatial and temporal variation in fishing effort will skew natural selection processes to favor certain behavioral groups. Ultimately, fisheries managers should strive to retain the behavioral diversity in order to maintain the resilience of fishes during these impacts.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting to you Brett Pletschke, Professor in the Department of Biochemistry and Microbiology for the Vice Chancellor's Distinguished Senior Research Award. Professor Pletschke is widely regarded as one of South Africa's leading researchers in the field of enzyme biotechnology, the role of multi-enzyme complexes in the biodegradation of plant material, and the application of this knowledge in biofuel production. He is especially highly regarded for his contributions to human understanding of the synergy of enzymes in the deconstruction of lignocellulosic biomass, one of the major renewable resources for the environmentally sound reproduction of fuels, chemicals, materials, and feedstocks. This for the South African, and global bioeconomy. His peers on the selection committee for this award were particularly persuaded by the impact of his scholarly activities over a sustained period. His work has been referenced literally thousands of times by others, and his research has resulted in the filing of 4 patents. In writing about him, reviewers use words like continued and excellent performance, a researcher of distinction, and as in having had indisputable academic status. Professor Pletschke's international collaborations span research groups in North and South America, Europe, Asia, and of course Africa. He has attracted research grants in excess of 15 million rand over his research career. Among his extensive publication list are 90 internationally ranked journals or books, several with remarkable levels of citation. He has served on the editorial boards of the journals Biotechnology Letters, 3 Biotech, International Food and Biosystems Engineering, and has reviewed papers for more than 50 scientific journals. The brand new Dr. Martha, who you employed just a few minutes ago, was supervised by Professor Pletschke, as well as 2 other postgraduates in other ceremonies during this week, which add to his past record of supervising 16 PhDs, 21 master's candidates, and 9 postdoctoral fellows. Professor Pletschke is professionally active at Rhodes and beyond, and is recognized as a scientific leader within the international biochemistry community. He is a past president of the South African Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. He is a member of the American Association for the Advancement of Science the European Federation of Biotechnology, and the American Chemical Society, the Royal Society of South Africa, and very recently was elected as a Fellow of the African Academy of Sciences. Professor Plečke is also a multi-chapter contributor to that fantastic resource, the UNESCO Encyclopedia of Life Support Systems, which is amongst the largest and most influential reference sites about our planet, its people, and its future. So, Mr. Chancellor, I request you to award the 2018 Vice-Chancellor's Distinguished Senior Research Award to Professor Brett Plečke.
I also confer degrees on those candidates named in the program who are in absentia. Please rise for the national anthem.